Okay, so if you're into Phillip K Dick like we are, we always got to take these deep dives.
Mm-hmm.
And this time, we're cracking open the Exegesis.
Oh,
Have you gotten a chance to...
I have.
It's dense.
It's a lot, right?
Yeah, 8,000 pages of just incredible stuff.
It's really like getting into the mind of Phillip K Dick in a way that like even his novels don't quite capture.
You really get a sense. It's raw. It's like overhearing him thinking, which he did for years.
Years, right.
About time, consciousness, reality.
Basically everything.
Really just questioning everything.
And it all starts with this event that he called 2374, which is kind of like how he dated his own spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
Visions, voices.
It's got to be an intense experience, right? To make you question the very fabric of reality.
Totally.
And that's for him at a 2374.
Yeah. And that's what's so interesting is like, he doesn't just have this one experience and then that's it. It launches all of this questioning and analysis.
Mm-hmm.
And really the exegesis is like the record of that.
Yeah, and you can see his thinking evolve. He'll go down one path, then he questions it.
Mm-hmm.
It revises it, doubts his own conclusions.
Totally. Like he's constantly revising, which is really how it should be, right?
Oh.
When you're dealing with this level of like questioning the nature of reality.
Yeah.
So one of the big themes that emerges, I think, from this and from the exegesis in general is this idea of reality as a simulation.
Yeah.
Which is something that he was exploring long before, the Matrix, it was ever a thing.
And you see this in his novels too. Like you get that feeling in Ubik where like the world is kind of like unraveling. Characters don't know what's real. Objects are changing. So was he onto something? Was he tapping into?
Well, he really digs into this concept of reality as information. Yeah. This constantly shifting flow that we can only perceive a tiny sliver of.
Right.
Like imagine standing on a beach, you just see the waves crashing, but you don't see the vast ocean currents shaping them.
Right.
That's kind of how he saw our limited perception.
So it's not just that it's an illusion, but it's that there are all these like layers and forces at play that we might not even be aware of.
Exactly. And that we may never be aware of.
Right.
Like he explores this in Maze, where the characters are confronted with these shifting realities, hidden forces that are manipulating their lives.
It's like those like, what if? What if the things that we encounter every day, that coffee cup, that news headline.
That we take for granted.
Have like a deeper significance that we're just not tuned into.
Exactly.
It's a trip. So we've got layers of reality. We've got hidden forces. Dick doesn't stop there though.
Oh, no. This is where it gets really wild.
This is where
we start talking about time and how Dick was convinced that time is not linear at all.
Right.
He describes it as a loop. A sphere, this multi-layered experience where past, present, and future all kind of bleed into each other.
Okay. Think about like when you have those moments where like a memory feels incredibly vivid.
Yeah.
Like you're reliving it almost.
Like it's happening right now.
Yeah. And that's kind of like a taste of what Dick called horizontal time. This idea that our past experiences are way closer than we think. And maybe even influencing our present in ways that we don't even realize.
Yeah. And he even describes experiencing Roman times.
Oh, wow.
So vividly that he was convinced he lived then.
Wow.
And it really challenges our understanding of time.
Totally.
Is it a straight line? Or is it something much more fluid and interconnected than we can possibly imagine?
It's like in The Man in the High Castle, right? Where history itself is fluid. There's alternate timelines, possibilities. I mean, was he drawing from his own experiences with that? Or did his writing influence the way that he even perceived time? That's like a chicken or egg question.
Yeah. Right, exactly. It's hard to say which came first. Yeah, it's like which came first, the experience or the writing. It's really fascinating. Yeah. And, in the exegesis, Dick doesn't just question time and reality.
Right.
He also talks about how information itself might hold the key to understanding it all.
So this is where his idea of the Third Testament comes in, right? 'Cause it's not just like sci-fi for him. It gets almost like a little bit biblical.
Oh, absolutely. He was really interested in this idea of hidden knowledge, a corrupt creator deity and this need for humanity to kind of wake up. Okay. And he saw the Bible not just as some kind of like static text, but as this living force that's actually shaping reality.
Wow.
Packed with all these codes and clues.
So he's connecting this flow of information, this hidden layer of reality, to something bigger, something maybe even spiritual.
Yeah.
And that's where Zebra comes in.
Right, exactly.
This entity.
This vast sentient being that he believed was communicating with him.
Through information.
Through information, exactly.
Okay, so we're talking layers of reality, hidden forces.
Yeah.
Time bending back on itself. And now we've got this like mysterious entity, Zebra, possibly pulling the strings. It's a lot.
It's a lot to process. And what's so fascinating is that Dick doesn't just sort of theorize about Zebra.
Right.
He describes hearing Zebra's voice, receiving messages, feeling guided.
He did, really.
He did. And this is where it gets really interesting because he never fully lands on whether Zebra is external or something he's accessing within his own subconscious.
Oh.
He saw this potential for human evolution, this ability to tap into hidden abilities, to break free from what he saw as this limited, programmed reality.
It's like in a Scanner Darkly, when they're like analyzing that surveillance footage, trying to find the hidden message in it.
Yes.
Like trying to decode reality.
Exactly. That sense of paranoia that there are these forces manipulating events behind the scenes.
Right.
That's present in so much of his work. This idea that we might not be truly in control.
We might just be pawns in this much larger game.
Exactly. And that's what makes the exegesis so compelling.
So then what about that idea that we as humans are like microchips of something much larger? Like we each contain a fragment of the divine.
Right, and that we're kind of on the verge of this third testament where we can access that hidden knowledge, that divine spark within ourselves.
So it's not about an external savior. It's about recognizing that potential within each of us.
Yeah.
But there were dangers in this too, right? Like that this knowledge could be misused.
Oh, absolutely. He was very suspicious of authority, of anyone claiming to have all the answers.
Right.
He saw the potential for manipulation, for control, even within spiritual ideas.
It's like an A Scanner Darkly again with Substance D.
Exactly.
It unlocks these incredible experiences, but it also makes people so vulnerable.
Exactly. It's a cautionary tale.
So even as we explore these big ideas, these hidden layers of reality, we have to be critical thinkers. We have to question everything.
Yes.
Right. Question everything.
Because for Dick, that's where true liberation comes from.
Absolutely. From questioning, from seeking your own truth.
It's like we should all become these like inner detectives.
Yes.
Right. Exactly.
Examining the evidence, questioning the narratives, and ultimately kind of choosing our own interpretations of reality.
Yeah. And I think that's such a powerful message, especially today. Like we are just bombarded with information. Constantly, right?
Oh, totally.
And Dick is reminding us that we don't have to just passively accept everything we're told.
Right.
We have the ability and the responsibility to think for ourselves.
Totally. And that's what I love about the exegesis. It's not like he's giving us a blueprint.
No.
It's like an invitation.
Totally.
He's not handing us the answers, but he's like urging us to go on our own journeys of discovery.
And those journeys can be challenging. And, you see that in the exegesis. He struggled with doubt. Yeah. He struggled with making sense of his own experiences.
Right.
But even in those moments of uncertainty, I think there's a real glimmer of hope.
Yeah, and is that hope coming from this idea that even if reality is a simulation, even if we are just these like microchips, there's still this potential for something more?
Yes, exactly. Like he really believed that within each of us, there's this fragment of the divine. He called it a microchip of the macrocosm.
Right.
And that we have this capacity to tap into that.
Wow.
To evolve beyond our limitations, to connect with something larger than ourselves.
So it's not about escaping reality.
Yeah.
But it's about transforming like our understanding of it.
Yes.
Our place in it.
Yes.
And maybe even transforming ourselves in the process.
Exactly. And recognizing that we have this agency. We can shape our reality through our perceptions, through our choices. And maybe even through our understanding of time itself.
It's a lot to think about. I feel like we've just scratched the surface of the exegesis, but it's been quite a journey.
It really has.
So I guess to wrap up our deep dive here, into the mind of Phillip K. Dick, I want to leave you with this. What if he was right? What if we do have this potential to unlock this third testament within ourselves? What kind of reality would we create? So keep those questions in mind. Keep exploring the worlds and ideas of Phillip K. Dick. Until next time, happy reading.